Okay, so in this last part, we're going to run through how to record videos. So obviously, anyone on the module probably be aware by now that you have to complete a series of weekly tasks, and one of the things that you have to do is record those tasks, short little video, and then upload it to Blackboard to be assessed. So you don't necessarily have to do them weekly, but it's a nice way for you to go through and kind of see how you're doing and get an idea of like how you're progressing on the module. So for this recording, I've simplified it. We were going to offer like a different version where you can do it inside the engine, but to be honest, using OBS is probably the best setup. So we're going to use OBS for today's one. So if anyone's not familiar with OBS, it's just open broadcast software, so you can download it for free. And I will just quickly show you guys the website. So it's available in the labs as well. For anyone that's looking to use it at home, obsproject.com is where you can acquire it. You can download it for Windows or for Mac or for Linux if that's what you're using. So it's free. A lot of people use it for streaming and stuff, so I'm guessing some of you will be quite familiar with it. So I'm not going to dwell on like how to download it or why you should use it. If you are in the labs, you can access it through Apps Anywhere, so appsanywhere.tees.ac.uk, and there you'll be able to find OBS. Now, at the minute, because I'm recording this in my home office, I probably can't demo that, but we'll give it a try anyway. This is where it doesn't work. Yeah, I can't do it from here. But if you're on campus, it'll work fine. So once you have it installed, that's what we're going to be using to record our gameplay. What I've generally said is we're going to try and use MP4 for this. We're quite flexible in the settings, but try not to upload gigantic files because obviously Blackboard has a limit. So we're going to get started recording some gameplay. Okay, so I have my Unreal project open that I've kind of been working on for this series of lectures, and everything's kind of working fine. So the next thing I want to do is just demonstrate like what I would do if I was going to submit this. So, so one of the first things I kind of said to everyone is there's a little bit of text here that you can select. It's called your name, student number. So I'm going to change it to be Maddie, and then my staff number is that. So this is just a way of us seeing that it's definitely in your level and it's working okay. So now we're going to jump into OBS and we're going to get that set up. So I've started with a very blank version of OBS. You can have different scenes available. I use this for like recording different tutorials and stuff like that. So I have a very blank one. So the first thing that we need to do is set up that we've got some sources. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do here is just come down to the sources tab. We're going to click on add. Obviously we kind of want like a video source. So we want to do like a display capture. You can, if you feel comfortable with it, you can do like a window capture or whatever. But for now, like for me, what I want to do, display capture is going to be fine. So I can give it a name. So I'm going to call it like screen 2 because this is just the monitor that I'm using. So from there you see straight away it's gone to the wrong one. So once you have it appear, I can pop on and say, right, this is the one that I want to record. So it's going to look a little bit weird because we're obviously looking at OBS on this. So what I'm going to quickly do then, just to make this a little bit easier for everyone to see, I'm going to move my Unreal to a different screen. So this is set up fine. So we've got it now set to the right screen. That's the screen that I'm running my Unreal on. So that should be okay. So from there, we're just going to hit OK. Now from here, you can add like audio as well if you need. So some of your tasks later on, you might have included like some little bits of kind of audio flair and stuff like that. So I'm going to add an audio output capture. I'm going to call it desktop audio. Oh, if I could spell it properly. I'm going to hit OK to that. And now it's asking me like which one do you want to use, and I obviously have like a load of different settings here, so I'm going to go with default. So now this is kind of capture my desktop audio. A good way to check is I can change it. and you can see it jumps up. So that's working fine. So the next thing we want to do is we want to have a look at our settings. Like there are loads of tutorials out there that you can get on appropriate settings to use in OBS, but these are just generally mine. So we're going to pop on there. I'm going to go to output. Straight away I'm going to choose like where I want to save it to, because you notice by default it'll always try and use like your videos folder. So from here I'm going to flick to my OneDrive. I've got this folder called Visual Scripting, and we're going to make a new folder in here. And then we're going to select that. So now you can see it's going to my OneDrive. Recording quality is set at the minute, the same to stream, but we can obviously adjust that if you want. But the main thing for me is I want to change this to be MP4. I don't want to be using NKVs. Previously as well, it used to default to like a flash file as like a FLV, I think. So I'm going to leave these pretty much standard because I'm not too concerned with them. If I click on video, you can see like it's asking me like what my base resolution is. Do I want to scale it? So the output is going to be 1280 by 720. So that's fine. We can change the frames per second. So if you want to get that real crisp kind of gameplay, you can do like 60, and we'll go apply and okay. So now you can see, because I've opened that up, it's recording my my actual Panopto, which is recording this lecture. So now we're fine to go. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to click on start recording. So now we're recording, and I'm going to pop into Unreal, and I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to demo my level taking place. So we've got our jump working, and we've got our sprint working. Okay, so from there we'll just pop over, hit stop recording. So now that's recorded. It'll just be a case of me finding where that lives on my computer. So I saved it in Visual Scripting and weekly task video. So now you can see that this is just what we just recorded. And that's our video. Okay, so that's fine. We could upload that as it is, but if anyone feels a little bit more comfortable, we can do stuff like a little bit differently here. So we can, instead of it just doing a screen record, we can actually try and do something like a little bit different. So if we want to get rid of that, we can right click and we can remove, and I'm sure. So from here, we can actually ask it to do like different things. So we're going to do a window capture. Okay, and this is going to ask me what window would you like to do. So I've got different windows open at the minute. So at the minute this is set to just Unreal. So what we can do here is I can hit play on my Unreal, and I'm going to real quickly show you what it looks like. So I'm going to change here, and I'm going to do a new editor window. Okay, and that is that. That's what it looks like. So I'll move out onto my other screen, and I'm going to minimize my Unreal. So I'm going to leave that running. It's fine. And now we should be able to find it here. I'll pop out a second, and now I'm going to come back in and change it. There we go. So you can see now, because I've got that editor window running, which looks like this, I can do a window capture instead, and now it's only going to show me that. So that's fine. We can hit OK. You notice now it's like it's kind of because that window's like not 100% full screen. It's made it like a little bit small, but I can scale it up. So that's something just to kind of check out. Is you notice now it's trying to do it, but it can't find it because I've closed the window. So if I was to hit play again, can then find that in my list here. So it doesn't help that I have way too many things open here. So what I'm going to do real quickly is I'm just going to bin that one, and we'll do another one. So we'll go window capture. Okay. It's asking us again which one we want to use. I'm going to make sure that's running, which it is now. There we go. So once we do that, we can right click here and we can actually scale it as well. So if we need to. So we can go like stretch the screen. So now it's giving me like a full preview. So now I can hit record and I can play through my level, and that'll capture it kind of as we're going through. So there's different ways to do it. Just whatever way you're comfortable with is the main thing. So obviously that was our first one, which was kind of capturing the whole Unreal kind of play space, like basically capturing a full display. And then our other one was capturing like that style. So it was actually doing like the full window. So it's whatever way kind of works for you is the main thing. So the other way of doing it as well is I could have run Unreal like this on my screen, and then I could have maximized it and then played it through like that and done a screen capture like this. So whichever way works. Honestly, for me, display capture is probably just as good. So if I was to go back to the way we had it before, and we want to capture display, and then we'll choose which one we're going to capture. So we'll go with display 3. This is what we were running before. I'm going to move my Unreal over there. Really quickly hit play. Let that maximize, and then I'm going to hit start recording. And now I can play through my game and demo the stuff working. Okay. And then we just hit stop recording. So once you get it recorded, the next thing is like figuring out what to do. So the first thing to do is to rename that. So if anybody needs any details on how to name your files, it's listed in the ICA and the weekly tasks. So for me, I'm going to rename it, task 1. Oh, sorry, we're on task 3. And obviously the correct way to name that is listed in Blackboard. So you guys can look at that in a little bit more detail than what I'm doing for this lecture. So the next thing is to figure out where we're going to do them on Blackboard. So all I've done here is I've just launched the Blackboard room. So the first thing I see is my announcements and stuff. So from here we want to click on assessments, and here you have a different hand-in folder for everyone. So you click on whichever one you want to upload, browse my computer, and then find the file that you want to upload. So for me it was this was week 3, so we'll go to task 3, browse, find my way to my folder, which is visual scripting. I've got my weekly tasks, and there's the one that I named. Obviously you'll have a better naming convention than me. And then we hit submit. I misspelled my own name on that, so apologies. And then you just wait for it to upload. If there's any issues and you need to upload again, you can go in and you can overwrite your previous submission. Okay, so now that I've uploaded it, you can see I can go on, I can download that file to make sure it works okay. So that's normally good practice. You can download it over here, or I can do start new, and that'll let me upload again. So if I made any changes to that file, or I wasn't happy with the one I did, I can always do start new, and I can upload another one. Okay, so that's just a real quick overview in terms of like how we record videos, how we submit them. So for this week, what we kind of want to be working on is this. So kind of stuff that I've run through in this lecture. So how to add a jump ability to the character. We want to trigger based on a button press. How to add controller input. How to create a trigger to increase the jump value, which we'll do now in a separate video. And then how to add a sprint.